Hello, everybody. Welcome again to another Business Breakthrough Google Hangout. It's Glenn Dietzel here, live from our international office. We haven't done a Google Hangout for a while from the Canadian Lake Home, so perhaps this summer we'll start doing that a few times. So anyways, I want to welcome you to another episode of our Business Breakthrough Google Hangout, and I want to continue with what we started last week. This will be part 2 of the best business model for doing one-on-one coaching today. And let me be really clear with you that this will work in any industry today, whether it's life coaching, whether it's executive coaching, whether it's business coaching, any particular niche market today in coaching. And we've identified almost 200 industries that you can be very, very, very successful in today in the coaching consulting realm. I could share with you some amazing statistics on opportunities for you as a coach or consultant, or if you're just starting on the road to coaching and consulting, and you want to think in today's marketplace on how to build a high-end training division within your company, or an entire entity, if you will, for your company. Now, in saying that, one of the reasons why I decided to do this is because for a number of my clients want to know how we do one-on-one consulting or coaching. And I see so many people coming into our programs that have been spending years following models of one-on-one coaching that are just literally robbing them of their value and of their time. And if you're one of those kinds of people today that you know that there is huge money in coaching and consulting and training, and you know that if you have some leverage in today's marketplace, and that's why we're such a proponent of creating instant massive leverage for your company through coaching and co-branding. For example, it's the most powerful way that I know of how to command maximum fees and royalties for high-end programs and services. So I want to take you into today a little bit around how I operate my company. I want to share with you the 10 rules for doing one-on-one coaching or consulting, and I want you to take a look at it from the standpoint of you taking a look at hiring a coach or consultant for yourself, because we all need that, right? I mean, I've invested almost $400,000 of my own money in coaching and consulting, several $1,000,000 back into my own company, and you need to do the same thing, right? Make wise decisions around the investment of not only your time but your money. So I want you to take a look at for your own self. And then secondly, I want you to have eyes around what could you do that leverages the model that I'm going to share with you today around how you can build your own one-on-one high-end coaching consulting company. So if you are new to our Business Breakthrough Google Hangouts and you've come to us from our Lifestyle Entrepreneur magazine, I am the editor-in-chief of Lifestyle Entrepreneur magazine, a magazine that's literally it's just been amazing on what our magazine and the followers that we have globally. So if you're attending here because of that, I want to welcome you to our training episode, our training event today. So let's set the scene though very quickly where we were last week. Last week I talked about the importance of commitment. And commitment to build your own company around an ROIT model. Now, I'm not going to cover all this. If you want to take a look at that, and I highly recommend that you do, all you need to do is go to our newgurumodel.com/hangout page. For many of you are watching that right there, right now, and click on past recordings or past hangouts, and you can go access our blog and get last week's Google Hangout. All right, but last week we talked about building an ROIT business. It's a new term, probably for most of you. It's a new term in the industry of coaching, consulting, and training, and it stands for return on invested time. So if you're going to build a successful company today, you've got to be able to leverage a more intelligent business model. It's one of the reasons why I shared with you last week that success doesn't come in a book. I mean, as much as we all want to be inspired, right, by a book, and I love to read biographies and autobiographies. Last week I shared with you a book that I just finished reading, Boys in the Boat. Amazing story. And as amazing it is to read that and feel really inspired, at the end of the day, everything comes down to the kind of critical action steps that you're going to take. And in order to create the kind of critical action steps in the right order, you're going to need to leverage a blueprint that's focused on action, a blueprint that's going to give you templates, a blueprint that's going to allow you to leverage one of our speed to market principles, and that's strategy on the fly. A blueprint that's going to allow you to create marketing feedback data to grow your company at an accelerated rate. So you're not focusing on product data, which just about every guru and expert today teaches you to focus on. And they start talking to you about outsourcing, and they talk to you about, creating a free report or taking a look at the free report and what can you make different, and getting a book done and putting a DVD together and having a really elaborate video production crew, or kind of that facade, if you will. And I don't believe you need any of that. In fact, I believe that that's hampering most people today from massive business acceleration. So that's why last week we started off with our first concept, ROIT, return on invested time. Okay, everybody obviously wants ROI, right? And it's one of the reasons why I'm going to share with you my 10 rules for the one-on-one coaching or mentoring relationship. I like the word mentoring. Clients that are investing in our programs are truly investing in mentoring, i.e. consulting, and they're investing in our accelerated approaches around teaching and training and the integration of that into true business acceleration. So along with then the ROIT concept, I talked to you last week about the importance of having a leveraged time model. All right, something that will allow you to not get tied into trading time for money. And there is a part of your company where you are going to be trading time for money. And that's why I want to set up the 10 rules today for you, so you're perfectly clear on how to build probably what I would reason with you right now from what I've seen in the industry, that I haven't found anybody yet that's doing this, that's moving into our programs. And many of our clients have invested several tens of thousands of dollars. Many of our clients have invested well into 6 figures in coaching and consulting, and following the typical outdated advice today around business funnels and copywriting and building expert positioning that really positions you no better than all the other experts in your industry. So we need to forget about all that. And that's why the next component that I discussed last week was our 3 principles to trading time for money. All right, and then from that, I talked to you about the 5 keys to a qualification process. And I mentioned to you last week that if you're going to have a qualification process, and I really recommend that you do, that automatically communicates to your market or your potential clients that you have a disqualification process. So as important as it is to qualify your ideal candidates, it's really important to disqualify the potential candidates that are not candidates, but are tire kickers, are not going to be a good fit for you, not the type of client that you want to work with. No disrespect to your potential clients, some of them will be tire kickers. Some of them will not be action orientation takers. Many of them will trick themselves or fool themselves into thinking that they can execute by following 10, 15, 20 other people, experts and gurus. You can't do it. It's just too overwhelming. And that's why you want to be very careful on the selection criteria by which you vet your ideal clients or candidates. And I shared with you 5 rules around the vetting criteria last week. All right, and as we move forward today, you will have hopefully your cup of coffee. I'm a huge proponent in closing deals over a cup of coffee, and doing it so effortlessly because you have a better system. It's proven, it's measurable, it's replicatable, and that's what's crucial in positioning yourself in today's marketplace. So as we get started here, I'm going to just share with you The sunset, this is the sunset of the week. This came the end of last week here at the Canadian Lake Home. And we're getting ready for our next Business Acceleration Intensive on July the 28th. It's called Summer at the Canadian Lake Home. And for those of you that are on our early notification list, you will be contacted shortly because we have a couple of tickets that we always hold out for our early notification list. So just to be fair to everybody, we have top flight entrepreneurs coming in to this one, unbelievable people, and been a lot of people contacting us about our one-day intensives, and that's found at newgurumodel.com/one-day. So let me just give you that here, actually, so you've got it, because we've had a lot of interest, and we don't spend much time marketing these. And I will give you, just because of the demand already, and the URL is newgurumodel.com/one-day, ONEDAY. It's all actually lowercase, sorry, one day, ONEDAY, all lowercase letters, newgurumodel.com/one-day, ONEDAY, all lowercase. And if you're interested in meeting some of the many amazing entrepreneurs that come in that are interested in true business acceleration, commanding maximum fees and royalties, you'll want to check out that. For our magazine too, a lot of you have been inquiring. All you need to do is go to budurl.com/LEMAG. Just type in that exact link, budurl.com/LEMAG for Lifestyle Entrepreneur Magazine, LEMAG, budurl.com/LEMAG. That'll take you to iTunes, a long URL, so we condensed it here for you, and you can check out Lifestyle Entrepreneur Magazine. Last thing I want to highlight here before I give you the 10 rules of the coaching consulting relationship. Many of you are downloading a report that we underplay or downplay, not consciously, but kind of subconsciously, because we have so much content. But this is our New Stealth Guru Model free report, and highlights, if you're interested in understanding our framework truly to the tune of growing your company in the fastest rate possible, and that will give you access to our 7-step formula for creating a product. All right, and those of you that already downloaded it, you know that we're not a huge fan of product creation at all. And there is only one kind of product, and I'll use that in quotation marks, that I think you should be creating today. And it's the only product that's going to allow you to close deals a documented 7 to 9 times faster than anything that I've seen out there online today. And again, it's why I'm not a huge fan of product creation. Even though in some industries, because of our authoring background, the fact that we were recognized by Adobe, the fact that I'm a best-selling author, most people think that we're a huge advocate of writing a book or putting a free report together. And not that I'm not an advocate of that. For business, true business acceleration, you don't need them. And in fact, I think it really holds 99.999 repeater % of people hostage to commanding maximum fees and royalties for high-end programs and services. So if you want access to that report, newgurumodel.com/NGM for New Guru Model Report, REPORT, NGM, REPORT. You can get that at newgurumodel.com. I just thought a quick plug, because we've got a number of email from you that have said, Glenn, you never plug your free report. And honestly, I don't need to. And it's one of the reasons why I'm doing these Google Hangouts, because I've got an amazing ROIT business, so that I can hang out with you and I can show you our systems and help you truly create some massive momentum in today's marketplace, because I'm a huge proponent myself of ROIT, return on invested time. And to my point that I started off with earlier, most people in the information product creation field, or that are in the lead generation field, or whatever industry it is, they're so busy creating information products when this is not even the information age anymore, it's the advisory age. So you've got to know how to advise, hint, hint, hint. Why? There's only one product that I think you should be creating, and I haven't seen anybody else teaching this, and it's the reason why so many people today are struggling closing deals, and why so many people are practicing greater sameness unknowingly and not stepping out and on top of their industry or at the front of their industry. So you've got to be a lot more strategic. So I want to spend some time with you, rules of the mentoring relationship, and making sure that you understand that we're going to be trading some time for money. Yes, you know, when building any kind of company, there is a trading of time for money. There has to be, because this is especially the IP age. This is the day and age to be able to evaluate what's going on up here connected with what's here. So what you know from your passion, your talents, your skill sets. But just because you're talented, and all of you are, and just because you've got skills and all of you have them, doesn't mean you can make money from them. Doesn't mean that you're growing a company. Doesn't mean that most of probably what you see online today is being marketed by people, and I won't call them entrepreneurs, I'll call them marketers, internet marketers, most of them, that don't have a business, that are too busy trying to make money by teaching you how to do something, and they've never done it themselves. And one of the reasons why we're creating these Business Breakthrough Google Hangouts, one of the reasons why I launched Lifestyle Entrepreneur Magazine, is to give you the kind of content that is really focused on sharing your advice and knowing how to do it strategically, knowing how to connect what you've learned up here, your passions, your talents, your skills, from what happens here, what you've learned through the School of Hard Knocks, and that intersection, because after all, that's where your true IP is in the advisory age. All right, so we're going to go through this right now, the rules of the mentoring relationship. I'm going to give you my 10 rules of the mentoring relationship, and I want you to look at these rules from a set of two eyes. First of all, as I said, looking at yourself as a candidate for someone's mentoring consulting program, and who would you choose? And by the way, I'm not here to advocate our program at all. We have just gone through a massive vetting process of so many unbelievable candidates. I'm not here to sell you anything. And all I want to do is impress upon you the importance of making really good decisions and strategic decisions that are going to assist you to grow your company today. All right, so I'm going to give you those 10 rules. Look at them from, you choosing your own mentor or consultant, and secondly, you setting up your own one-on-one coaching consulting company today, and some advice from myself. All right, so based on our application process that we create, and I covered a little bit of that last week, and I've gone through that with you on previous Google Hangouts, how we do it in a way that I haven't seen other companies do it. And now that's not to say that some people today aren't following what we're doing. We're too busy blazing trails in coaching and consulting and teaching our clients to self-select themselves for our programs. And wouldn't you like to be able to do that? Right? At the end of the day, being able to have a process that allows your potential clients to self-select themselves for you, so you never have to sell anything. You don't have to worry about pitching outdated tactics and strategies that simply don't work anymore. You can be a lot more strategic with your company, right? And you can truly get clear on how you want to grow your company, because after all, you are an entrepreneur, right? And your job is to influence your market, right? And your job is to make sure that you're positioned differently than what your competitors are doing. So once you have that kind of competitive intelligence, I don't spend any time looking at who might be my competitor in the marketplace. In fact, as I've shared with you before, on how to price point your programs and services. I shared with you a concept and around what in some MBA programs, it's taught very loosely from what I know from my own MBA clients. But it's this concept of valuing what you do from the standpoint of making yourself uncomparable. Uncomparable. You can't be compared to anybody else. How do you do that? Well, you've got to be a little bit more strategic probably than you are right now, and position yourself at the forefront of what's going on, the biggest trends or the biggest trend in your industry. Okay? So the first thing that I want to share with you then, right here, rule number 1 for the mentoring relationship is when we're selecting candidates, successful candidates, they must commit. Let's see if I can get that into focus here. It's the word must here is a little bit out of focus. Let's see if I bring it back here. All right, there we go. There we go. All right, the camera's finally picking up. There we go. Must implement. All right. At the end of the day, the reason why most people never get success in business is because it's not that they're not implementing. You know, I've quoted Jay Abraham before. Entrepreneurs fail not because they're not doing work, but because they're doing the wrong kind of work. And in the advisory age, you got to think of you got to basically close yourself off to what happened in the information age. And most entrepreneurs, most gurus or experts, and there are a lot of them. There are many of them that are doing this probably unknowingly. There's a lot of people teaching advice or information that maybe worked in the information age, but it won't work in the recommendation or the advisory age. So first of all, you've got to be able to implement. And implementation means that you understand the context of today's marketplace. All right, and most people are so busy, you know, fretting over their content that they totally lose sight out of the context. All right, so let me share with you a concept that we've shared. We've got over 500 speed to market principles, and you might see some experts and gurus talking about the fact that content is king, and I kind of understand what they're saying, right? This is the day and age of specific advice. However, before you teach your specific advice, you've got to understand that content is not king, it's queen. There's something that trumps the queen. And there's something more important, for example, in the game of chess than the queen. And I happen to love playing chess. I don't do enough of it because I'm busy with my kids and with what they're doing, and just so many things that we've got going on as a family. But I do enjoy a great game of chess. I grew up playing competitive chess in elementary school. Our elementary school won the high school league in our area when we were all of the kids that were on the team were in grade 5 and 5th grade and 6th grade. We were all ranked in Canada and worldwide in the Chess Federation. So I grew up learning how to play chess at a very early age, and the queen is normally considered the most important piece on the board, right? It's worth 9 points if you know the game of chess, and it's got a very powerful piece. But even more important than the queen is the king. So what is more important than content? Context. All right. So being able to implement in the right context, and so that's why I want to give you our free report on New Guru Model free report today, because I haven't mentioned it much. Just because we have so much content on our site, and we had a few people recently reach out, especially in the context of our application process, thinking, Glenn, why didn't you give us this and this and this? I thought, well, I've given you what I've given you because I expected that you've already gone through this and this, and that's where people say, well, Glenn, you've got so much great content, so you should probably mention that you do have this. So I give a quick plug to New Guru Model, our report. The second principle, rule of the mentoring relationship, is a client should be a case study. If you're vetting somebody to be a successful candidate in their program, coaching and consulting program, my question to you would be, are they going to leverage you as a case study? All right, and that now also means that you should probably have case studies in your own programs. Remember, we're trying to build a company that leverages the one-on-one time that you're going to commit, right, and turn that more into an ROIT business. So I love case studies. They're huge to me and to my company. We leverage them in our Lifestyle Entrepreneur magazine that you can see in the lower third here of my Google Hangout screen. We leverage our clients on PR, and there's a number of ways that we leverage our clients as case studies. So all of our clients coming into our programs know that they will be a case study with us, all right? So I want their success. I want us focusing on implementation and not the collation, if you will, of content. We don't have time for that. There's just too much content already online. What you need is a better plan of execution, right? And executing within a case study paradigm. So the third rule of the mentoring relationship, these are my rules, all right, is a positive sense of self-expectancy, all right? For a successful candidate, I got to know that they have a positive sense of self-expectancy, that they're not a whiner type, complainer type, a woe is me type. I mean, if we all had that kind of outlook in life, and we could all, I guess, justify that outlook at some level if we become very narcissistic with ourselves. But if we start becoming a lot more objective and realizing that why have we had troubles? Why are we going through troubles? Why is business no different than life? Think about that for a second. Business is no different than life. If you've got troubles in life, and nothing has been perfect in life, because there's no such thing as perfection, there's only a way of iron sharpening iron, life situation sharpening yourself. That's the same replication or the same paradigm is in the business world. All right, so nothing happens perfectly. Things happen excellently. All right, and there's a reason why you're going through or have gone through the situations that you have. I believe that one of those reasons is because you were born to be entrepreneurial. You were born to solve problems. You were born to communicate those problems as an entrepreneur and solve those problems through your own personal solutions. In order for you to have your own solution, that means, if you think about it from a mathematical standpoint, it would be intuitively obvious that you should have some problems that you've overcome, right? So you are unbelievably wealthy because many of you here today, especially, you know, if you're in your 40s and your 50s and your 60s and your 70s, like some of our clients, and some of our clients are in their 30s and their 20s, and they might not have the life experiences of some of our more mature clients, but it doesn't mean you're any less valuable. It just means that maybe you're going to have to think a lot more strategically about how you're going to position yourself in today's marketplace, all right? And that's why our coaching and co-branding program is so powerful, because it attracts literally such a wide audience of entrepreneurs. Fourth rule to my one-on-one coaching programs is a concept called an organized plan. When I'm working with a client, my goal is to communicate a plan to that client. I'm very much involved in the planning of that. I'm very much involved in the assistance of the execution of that plan. And I'm very much involved in ensuring that our clients are moving forward. Now, at the end of the day, our clients need to take the decisive action, right? Because everything is predicated on taking not any kind of action, but the kind of action that's going to give all of us the results that we're after, right? So the fifth area in the, or the fifth rule in the coaching or mentoring relationship is I expect my clients to show the assets they are creating with my guidance. Or if we look at it from your standpoint, show the assets that you are creating with, or your clients are creating with your guidance. Now, there are a very specific set of assets that I assist my clients to create. And these assets allow my clients to close deals a lot faster, create a lot better traction in as if they're just entering an industry as a coach, consultant, or trainer in startup mode, or if they're already a seasoned entrepreneurs, knowing how to reframe themselves to leverage the the assets that I'm going to show them how to create is crucial. And these assets, I want to make sure that my clients are creating them properly and that are leveraging themselves as a trusted advisor. And so the communication of those assets to me is huge. Now, here's why I do that. Because I create an inventory of models, if you will, of assets that, with my client's permission, I can show some of my other clients. So it becomes very, very, remember, we're moving from an ROI to an ROIT business model. So I am helping my clients create assets. I am leveraging the assets that they're creating, and it's lending itself to a quote by Marcus Buckingham and Kirk Kaufman. I've quoted them quite exhaustively. They mentioned a few years ago, and it was really nice that they mentioned this because we've been teaching this for 12 years, how in order to survive in today's marketplace, entrepreneurs must have premium priced programs and services, and they must have a way of leveraging their clients in their sales methodology or training. And being able to leverage our clients' assets with their permission with my other clients allows me to leverage one of our speed to market principles, and that's this: modeling is the #1 way that you learn. Modeling is the #1 way that you learn. All right? And we all want accelerated teaching and learning, right? We all want to get the kind of results faster and quicker. So modeling is huge. Next, what I've always done, one of the best things I've ever done, is consults are taped for personal inventory. Okay? All of the consults that I do with clients are taped. They get an inventory of the training that I do with them personally, one-on-one, and they also have an inventory of the training because part of our one-on-one mentoring is access to some of the other group programs that I run. For example, our Executive Mentoring Mastermind program, our Certification Royalty Riches program, which is teaching them how to leverage coaching and co-branding. And those programs, now what it allows me to do is it allows my clients to meet each other. It allows them to leverage their one-on-one time with me, so I'm not teaching the same thing over and over. The basis of working with them in a customized way, I can point them to specific training events that I've done. It allows me to give assets or showcase assets that some of my other clients have created for modeling for them so they can move forward even faster. It allows my own clients to be case studies for other clients. It allows my other clients to be case studies for that one-on-one client that I'm working with. So I want you to see how things start growing. They start growing because you've put the kind of time into your company around how can you build your company as a company, as a CEO of a world-class coaching, consulting, and training company. All right, so making sure your calls are taped. We do them through Google Hangouts like this, private Google Hangouts. There is a way of doing private Google Hangouts. We do them with our clients, and our clients are coming into Omega Mind July 13th to 15th. Those of you that are watching, look forward to meeting you again at the Canadian Lake Home. Those of you that are coming into the one-day Omega Mind Business Acceleration Intensive at the end of July, look forward to meeting you. And many of you are going to meet my wife for the first time. If you're not already in our Omega Mind program, you've already met my wife and my kids. Next, this is really important. This kind of lends itself to what I just said. The seventh rule of the mentoring relationship is each of my one-on-one clients know they're going to be a case study for demonstration to other clients and vice versa. Okay? So what I found is that very few people tape their calls, their mentoring coaching calls or their consults, because at the end of the day, so many coaches and consultants, from what I've seen, and I've hired them, really offer very little in terms of what I could not already buy in a book. They don't offer real life assistance in true business acceleration and making quantum leaps with your own company because they've already made it themselves. That's hugely important. And secondly, that they know how to teach you. And the teaching side, the pedagogy side, is so crucial to a service-based economy, the recommendation of the advisory age that we live in, that one of my principles around business acceleration is that you have clients that can be used for modeling to other clients so that you can in turn model from them for your own individual one-on-one clients that you're working with. And again, why do you have one-on-one clients? Well, if you're a coach like I am, a consultant like I am, you are a teacher by passion and training like I am, it's in your blood, it's in your genes. And some of you, it's in your genes, literally. If you ask my wife, Fiona, she will tell you I will never, ever, ever leave this industry until I die, just because I absolutely love it. Secondly, you need to realize that in order to grow a company in the fastest time possible, you want to build the kind of data for your company that's going to grow your company. That's why you need a select group of one-on-one clients. And again, you can determine the kind of client that you want to work with. You can determine to do it in the kind of cool locations that we do it, the Canadian Lake Home, the Vegas Sandcastle. You might want to do it on your yacht. You might want to do it, if you don't have a yacht, we show you how to get access to yachts. How to do, you might want to do it at base camp of Everest. You might want to do it on a ski resort. Whoever. I mean, create the business that you want to live, to combine life and business. And so case studies demonstrating to other clients what it is that you've done for them and vice versa is so important. Next, the 8th rule of the mentoring relationship is use group or private members training to leverage one-on-one assistance. All right, use the group or your private members training to leverage one-on-one assistance. So what do you mean by that? When I'm working with a client one-on-one, we're never working from scratch together. It's always leveraging what I've been covering on our group training events or in our private members access, so that when I'm spending time one-on-one working with my clients, helping them generate their own IP. So when you're working with a client one-on-one, make sure that they know that the assets that you assist them with in creation, the intellectual property that's developed in the relationship belongs to them. All right, it's their intellectual property. The 9th rule in the mentoring relationship is a guarantee. Now, I'm proud to say that we were the first company that I know of that put the only kind of guarantee that you should have in a coaching, consulting, or high-end training program. I don't think you should offer money back. And I've been very clear on that. And I've been clear with all of my clients in the last almost 12 years now that we've started a company as a startup into one of the fastest growing business acceleration companies globally. I don't think you offer a money back, because all that does is it works subconsciously against your clients. They won't take the necessary action. When I've invested in coaching and consulting, I have never, ever, ever asked for what's your money back guarantee. I never have. Why? Because I'm going to vet people carefully. I want to talk to them directly. So are you going to meet the CEO of the company? If I feel that it's a good fit, and I know it's a good fit, so it's got to feel like a good fit, I got to know it's a good fit, then I got to go. One of our speed to market principles is that most successful people today make fast decisions, and I like our guarantee. Our guarantee is this: that if you don't make your investment back, we continue to work with you. All right, and that's a much more powerful investment, because my clients know we're not going anywhere. They know and they love the fact that I provide so much assistance to them each week, and they get project management assistance. They can go to our private client site and get the recordings from the training events that I've done, that they can come in and work with me directly at the Canadian Lake Home. And I'm really excited about that, about our business model. Why? Because it's what I would say it's a full-fledged business or a transparent business model. Next is 10th. The 10th rule is clear about the vetting process for an accelerated start. Okay, I believe that if you're going to have a vetting process, that you need to be clear to the clients that are going through your vetting process that you do have a vetting process, to protect the integrity of the process. to protect the integrity of the business relationship that you're developing with your potential candidates. So they're clear that there is a disqualification process. They know the kinds of clients that you want to work with, and you're clear about that. They also know that the expectations that you have. And my expectations with all my clients are, I always believe in setting the bar high. When I was a teacher, I set the bar really high. I used to have parents that got a little bit grumpy with me at the beginning because they thought that their little Johnny Buggins wouldn't be able to hit those kind of targets. But I really believe that when you set targets high and you leverage a proven process, that you can move unbelievably swift, and you can gain the kind of confidence that we all want in business, right? To get out of the four walls that are cornering us, holding us captive or hostage to our true business success. And as I summarize these 10 rules here today around the mentoring relationship, it's been really clear to me once again, having just had so many amazing and wonderful clients come through our process today. Many of you have become very good friends. And for those of you that weren't successful in the last application process, I want you to realize that it's nothing personal. There's so many people today here that just want to give us money. They just want to move forward. And I always tell potential candidates that whether or not, if they want to start investing right away, we won't take your money, because I don't know enough about your company. I don't know enough about your business. And I don't know enough about what you really are after, if I can really assist you. And I don't know if you are a good candidate for what I'm looking for as a kind of client that I want to work with. And so as you think about your own rules for your own mentoring, coaching, consulting relationship, use the 10 that I gave you here today and use them from a dual perspective. First of all, looking for your own coach or consultant. Do they meet those 10 attributes, defining characteristics, or paradigm of coaching and consulting? And secondly, think about your own rules that you're going to establish, and use the rules that you're creating for your own coaching and consulting and mentoring program to elevate your status in the marketplace, so that you don't become like so many people, wishy-washy, desperate for clients, and communicating that. I see so many people making so many fundamental mistakes. It hurts me to see that. So I want to spend time with you today and share that with you. If you've got comments or questions, please use our blog. Or no, don't use our blog. Use our Google Hangout right below the live Google Hangout player at newgurumodel.com/hangout. Love to hear from you. If you have any comments or questions at all, just go to you can call our international office, first of all, 519-542-3043, 519-542-3043, and that's our Awakened International office. You can also do the following here, because we've had some people here inquiring here on our Google Hangout on the next one day. So let me give you that spelled correctly with no capitals, if you remember. It's simply newgurumodel.com/one-day, ONEDAY. So newgurumodel.com, COM/ONEDAY, newgurumodel.com/one-day. And I really hope that our paths cross sooner than later. Please take the concepts that we've covered and our last two Business Breakthrough Google Hangouts on the whole, setting up a better coaching, consulting, high-end training, one-on-one. This is really geared towards doing one-on-one. And I can't stress to you enough, I know it's scary if you're new to doing one-on-one mentoring, coaching, or consulting, and especially stepping into the realm of high-end programs and services. I get it that it's scary. I used to be a teacher. I remember my very first one-on-one coaching call. I was still in teaching. I was just, so many people coming to us because we had been recognized by Adobe. I was on the largest how-to cable television show within 5 weeks. From a startup, all of a sudden we had all this traction, and I just remember that I need to do one-on-one. It was in my blood. It's what I'm built for. And I remember how nervous I was, and I certainly didn't know how to command maximum fees or royalties back then. So please take the concepts that I've covered, make them yours, and I look forward to hearing about your success. Have a great one, and I look forward to our next Business Breakthrough Google Hangout. Have a great one, everyone.